So right now I'm going to do a quick comparison between the PowerTac Hero and 3 or 4 other pretty well-known lights. Those would be, I guess in order, the Olight M18 Maverick, the ThruNite TM26 original version, so that's the XM-L with the 3500 lumens. Then I'm going to hit up the TN30 XM-L2 version, as well as the TN31 XM-L2 version as well. Right now, as a control shot, the shutter speed is at 1/30th a second, aperture at f2.0, and ISO at 1600. Now, I do have this set in manual focus, so it doesn't, weave in and out of focus. The control light currently is a E-Gear FC200 headlamp that is on the highest mode and focused. So this tree in front of me that's being shown right now, I would estimate is about, I don't know, maybe about 30 feet away, I'm guessing, give or take, probably 25-30 feet away. Now the one behind it off in the distance, that you can see the treetops just barely. So again, this is the one in focus right there. So obviously FC200 can't really see too well. I should say, meaning you can't see too well its beam. That's roughly, I'm guessing, about 70 feet away or so. And then with obviously other, objects in between distance, the stone cement path here is roughly about 20 feet, I guess. Yeah, 20 feet. And let me see what other markers there are. This little bush here is also roughly about 20 feet, the same distance as the cement barrier. Now, obviously, there is some atmospheric dust. There is a campfire going on over there, so I'm going to do my best again to capture this. So I'm going to switch this over to flood mode so at least you can see what is in the immediate vicinity. So this bush here is literally about 4 feet away from the camera. That chair there is, I would say, 5 to 6 feet. And then that bush there, let me come into focus. Again, roughly about 20 feet, along with the cement barrier, 20 feet. Center tree, 30 feet. And the tip of those trees there, about 70 to 80 feet, roughly, give or take. So first up is the PowerTac Hero. I am going to aim the lights below the lens. Right, I'm going to cycle through just to make sure this is on turbo mode. Okay. So this is on turbo mode. Put it right beneath the lens. Again, there is atmospheric dust. So as mentioned, this bush here, or tree, that's roughly about 30 feet away. And the tip of those trees in the background there is about 70 to 80 feet. I would say likewise for that tree tip over there as well. And this bush is much more in the immediate foreground, so that's only roughly about 20 feet or so away. Those branches there sticking out, say about 30 feet away also at an angle. Now, sorry, I do have the PowerTac in the field. Unfortunately, smoke fire is kicking up, so it is creating a bit of dust, but at least this should give you a pretty good idea in terms of comparison between these few lights that I do have out today. So I'm going to enter low mode, and as you can see, because the PowerTac was designed as a thrower, within the immediate vicinity you can see it still casts out beam, but since it is a thrower, it's a pretty sharp and tight beam. But I guess, in real world use, pretty practical. Nighttime without destroying night vision, and still casts a okay flood, although of course that's not captured very well in this video. This is the next level up, level 2. Next level up, level 3. Now I am detecting some flickering in this level. And then finally, the last but not least, the turbo mode. or the highest level. Obviously overkill for things in the foreground, but illuminates things at a distance pretty well. I would say with a good, nice center beam and still okay amount of flood, I would say. And that's the strobe mode. Finally off. Alright, next up we have one of my favorite ADC lights in 18650 size. This is currently in the low mode. This, owing to its shallow reflector, despite the smooth reflector, it's still more of a floody beam profile, but still with decent throw. Alright, this is now on medium. And then finally on max. So as you can see, a very nice floody beam profile. Sorry, this shadow here is because there's a grill in front of me, so I'm going to lift this up a little bit. Alright. Hit up the tips of those trees over there. Come back to the center. Alright. So next up we have the original Nitecore TM26 with the original XM-L emitters pumping out 3500 lumens. I'm going to go ahead and start off in low. So you can see there it's casting a beam out there, but barely perceptible. Next level up. Middle there. Not quite yet able to hit that treetop in the background, or at least perceptibly on the video, although with my eyes I can't see it. Next level up. And now we can finally see those treetops in the background. Alright, one more level. Yeah, so that tree in the background there, you can see, I'm talking about behind this set of bushes here and this one in the foreground. That little one in the background there is, I would say, probably a good 100 feet away or so. So as you can see, just a tremendous amount of output from this light, man. No wonder it's been a favorite of light enthusiasts. And then finally, last but not least, this is in just turbo mode, blinging bright, full 3500 lumens output. Again, a good test is that tree right there, because like I said, that's roughly, I'm guesstimating 100, but I'm probably being a little conservative actually, maybe further than that. I'll try to see if I could Google map it, although I don't really have good reference objects here because I'm not in my normal spot. Alright, next up we have ThruNite's TN30. This is the upgraded XM-L2 version. Now on the lowest mode, you could just barely see the beam. So right now I'm shining on the floor in the foreground there. I don't know if you can see that. So let me bring it up a notch. Okay, so this is now like level 2. Alright, level 3. Okay, so as you can see at level 3 you could pretty much hit that tree in the background there. but not quite that guy in the background over there. That's off to about 100 feet. Level 4. So as I'm moving this slowly, I'm sure you're probably noticing it as well. There are some artifacts to the beams. I guess in practical real world use, you have to be really looking for it, but I think even at this angle you can see the outer shade here. I'm going to use my finger. So this portion here from there to there, it's just ever so slightly darker than obviously this portion from here to here. So, and now you can finally see that tree in the background there. Again, this is level 4. Bring it up to level 5. Now it's lit up pretty well. And last but not least, level 6. Everything just lit up very, very well. And obviously with the foreground being overpowered. Now last but not least, we have the ThruNite TN31. This, again, the XM-L2 version. One of the perennial favorites of people who love throwy lights. So this is on level 1, and as you can see, that pencil thin beam is being shown out there. Go to level 2. So again, a great, I guess, spotlight, searchlight, but for intents and purposes for general camping use, no, it's okay. I mean, it does have a decent, it has an okay spill, not the greatest. I generally would prefer floody for camping, but obviously if I was searching off something in the distance, yeah, I would like a thrower. Okay, come back down the center tree. It's level 3 now. So level 3, you could already see that tree due to its tremendous throwing capability. But unfortunately, its flood doesn't really illuminate much else around it. You literally have to be using it in a very particular format and searching in a very particularly tight high spot. But again, fantastic for throwing long distances. It's now level 4. Okay, level 5. Yeah, even at level 5, it's overpowering the center tree right now with this very tight, bright, hot spot, center spot. Go back to center. And last but not least, level 6. Yep, that's that buoy you hear in the background with the bells, and I don't know if you could pick up the waves as well, but I wouldn't be surprised if you had boats out there mistaking this for a lighthouse. Alright, unfortunately I don't have too much time. It's the end of the day, it's extremely late, that's why I'm not talking too loud, because people are sleeping, but hopefully this gives you a good idea of how these lights, how the PowerTac Hero compares some of the more popular lights out there. Wasn't intended to showcase necessarily the output lumens or whatnot, because obviously they're in different categories, but again, kind of gives you a good idea as compared to some of the more popular lights out there.